If they can't see your worth, it's not your job to prove it. If they can't recognize your light, it's not your task to shine harder. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into places too small for your spirit. Stop begging to be seen by eyes too blind to recognize greatness. You're not invisible. You're just standing in the wrong rooms. Don't beg to be seen. That's the first step to stepping into the life that's already waiting for you. Not everyone is supposed to understand you. Not everyone is capable of recognizing the weight you carry inside. Not everyone has the eyes to see what God placed within you. And that's not your fault. Your calling was never a conference call. Your dreams were never meant to be validated by a crowd. Your heart, your ambition, your soul, they were handcrafted by something higher than human opinions. When you start begging to be seen, when you start bending, shrinking, adjusting yourself just to fit into someone's limited view of you, you lower your own value. You don't have to plead for respect. You don't have to audition for acceptance. You already are. Your existence itself is the proof. Your work, your evolution, your resilience, your spirit. They already speak loudly without you having to shout. But when you beg, you silence your own voice just to hear theirs. You dim your own light just to be tolerated by people who were never meant to sit at your table. You water yourself down, thinking that maybe if you're a little less you, they'll finally say you're enough. But listen carefully. You don't need smaller dreams to be loved. You don't need softer edges to be accepted. You don't need quieter passions to fit in. You need faith, a deep, unshakable faith, that the right people will recognize your value without needing to be convinced. Faith that the spaces meant for you will feel like oxygen, not suffocation. Faith that the connections meant for you will understand your spirit without you needing to translate it. Every moment you spend explaining yourself to the wrong people is a moment you steal from the ones already praying to meet someone like you. You were never invisible. You were never too much. You were never lacking. They just weren't capable of seeing the kind of light you carry. And that's their limitation, not your worth. You were never invisible. They were simply too small to see the magnitude of your spirit. They were never blind to you. They were blind to their own lack of vision. And that's on them, not you. When you beg to be seen, you hand your power to people who were never qualified to hold it. You lower yourself to be weighed, measured, and priced by people who don't even know the value of gold. You are not a product for validation. You are not a bargain for acceptance. You were never meant to stand on a shelf waiting for someone to choose you. Real power is silent. It doesn't beg. It doesn't announce itself with desperation. It simply is. Undeniable, unshakable, untouchable. When you beg, you put your dreams up for auction. You allow the world to bid on you, not based on your true worth, but based on their limited perception. And what's tragic is that many will only offer you pennies because that's all they're capable of giving. But hear this clearly. You were never made to be discounted. You are rare. You are expensive. You are one of one. There's no discount code for destiny. There's no clearance sale on greatness. You either walk in your value or you forfeit it. Every time you choose not to beg, every time you stand tall and let your silence speak louder than your words, your spirit strengthens. Your path becomes clearer. Your energy becomes more potent. Understand this truth. Those who ignore you today, those who overlook you, one day they may wish they had seen you. They may regret not recognizing your light when they had the chance. But by then, you won't need them. You won't even be looking in their direction. You'll have built your own table. You'll have created your own platform. You'll have designed a life so beautiful, so powerful, that their opinions won't even register anymore. You don't have to scream your value. Real jewels don't make noise. They just exist, rare and untouchable, shining in silence for those wise enough to notice. True recognition doesn't come from applause. It doesn't come from validation. It doesn't come from being the loudest in the room. It comes when you stop performing for approval. When you stop altering yourself to meet the expectations of those too small to contain your spirit. The most beautiful transformation in your journey will not be loud. It will be quiet. It will be sacred. It will happen the moment you stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for purpose. Silence becomes your weapon. Peace becomes your stage. You no longer need to chase affirmation. You no longer need the claps, the likes, the recognition to feel alive. You realize you were enough before anyone applauded you. You realize you were powerful even when no one noticed. Every silent sacrifice you've made, every time you walked away without defending yourself, every quiet tear you shed when no one was watching, every lonely decision you took to protect your peace, they were not losses. They were seeds. Seeds that were being planted in the soil of your destiny. Seeds that are now growing into something bigger than anything you could have begged for. A future so divine, so rich in purpose, that you'll look back and thank God they overlooked you. You'll look back and thank yourself for not settling. When you no longer need applause to feel worthy, when you no longer chase attention to feel important, you become magnetic. You attract the right people, the right doors, the right blessings, without ever having to beg. Because the truth is, the ones meant for you will recognize your soul, not your performance. The doors meant for you will open because of your spirit, not your noise. You don't need an audience to be valuable. You don't need a spotlight to be powerful. Your purpose is too heavy for shallow eyes. Your destiny is too bright for those still living in darkness. Stop auditioning for people who don't even deserve front row seats in your life. Stop waiting to be invited. Stop waiting to be noticed. Walk forward with your head high, not because they see you, but because you finally see yourself. You are enough. You have always been enough. And now, you don't beg to be seen. You walk in your light until the world has no choice but to adjust its vision. Thank you.